There is a theory called the abundance shock, where you put yourself in environments that are far above the reality you live in, so that your brain learns through contrast, recalibrates itself, and basically helps you build a new personality so you can move towards abundance. Honestly, I don't really believe in this, but from time to time, I do it consciously. Not because of the abundance shock, but because I like to put myself in environments like this one to understand how things work so I can leave here and work really hard. So that this becomes the minimum, not the extraordinary. So that in the future, I can live this every day and not just once in a while. So there is a bit of this abundance shock thing, but I don't really believe in it, of the thing, and more in the work that's involved to make this here become a constant reality. I just woke up to this view here in Shanghai at the Mandarin Oriental, which is one of the fanciest hotels in the city. I recently booked 2 wonderful nights at this lovely hotel, and I honestly had one of the absolute best nights of sleep in my entire life. Right here in this incredibly comfortable bed, which is truly gigantic, absolutely massive, and just completely huge. The room is spectacular, the shower is really good. And another thing that must be really good is the breakfast, and that's what we're going to find out now. Usually, a good 5-star hotel has a good breakfast. But an extraordinary 5-star hotel has an extraordinary breakfast. The day started early here in China, so let's go check out the breakfast. And I want to know your opinion. If you believe in this idea of a shock of abundance or not, leave it in the comments. But I think it's cool to do this, okay? I'm already saying it here. It's worth doing this from time to time. Just, don't take a step that's way bigger than you can handle. I can afford this hotel, that's why I came here. But it's not usual for me to stay in this kind of hotel. Normally, I would stay in a cheaper hotel from time to time. I like to expose myself to different environments like this, even just to observe the service, materials, things, and people. And it's funny because usually, let's head down and we'll keep talking. Usually, I'm the youngest guest in hotels like this. So it's very rare for me to be in a hotel of this level here. Look how amazing the view from the room is. Little bathroom. It's very rare for me to be in a hotel like this and have someone younger than me here. I'm usually the youngest guest traveling alone to places like this, right? Look, the finish on everything is impressive. Marble, stone, texture. I keep looking at these things here because to get some reference ideas, architectural inspiration from this kind of thing, where do you think breakfast is? It must be this way, maybe. Yeah, let's see. The hotel is beautiful. Beautiful, even the elevator. Everything is nice, but I'm starving. Afterwards, I'm going to the gym. I'll try to take the camera to the gym. I don't know if they'll let me, because usually there are more people inside. And they value the guest's privacy, right? So I think it's unlikely. This is the lobby at the hotel entrance. A bunch of chandeliers. Actually, a friend of mine messaged me yesterday saying that he was the one who helped sell the chandeliers to this hotel. He was the one who designed this chandelier project at the Mandarin Oriental in Shanghai. This hotel lobby is beautiful. This here is the hotel's brand, the logo. It's a fan. And this brand is one of the most luxurious 5-star hotel brands in Asia. The floor, everything is beautiful, right? The hotel's finishing is spectacular. Down here, there's also the gym floor. Yesterday, I went to check out the gym, but I was so tired that I ended up not working out. That's the truth. But today I want to work out. Breakfast is here. I don't want to show the people here, but there are already some folks having breakfast. There are several stations. There must be a ton of them. Thank you. Usually in hotels like this, there are several breakfast islands. So here, I read over there, it's the noodle island. Over there, there are other things going on. On the other side, more things. At the beginning, there's fruit. Back there, there's a bread counter. On the other side, there are a bunch of islands. Shall we explore the breakfast islands? I'm going to go through them one by one. I'm hungry, and then we'll grab something. This specific one right here is the famous noodle island. Hello? So just a reminder, we're in Asia, right? This kind of breakfast isn't common for us, but Asians like it. To be honest, Noodle, I really don't know exactly what this strange-looking thing is here. The guy is grabbing a sweet potato here. They finish everything on the spot. Right there, look. They put the noodles in right there, fresh. You choose what you want. Over there, coffee. Let's go through this island on this side. The restaurant is really beautiful, huh? Right here, we have some delicious crispy spring rolls, freshly made fluffy omelets, and several assorted little bowls of warm, hearty oatmeal for you to enjoy. What is this here? I don't know what this is here. Red bean. Bean. I don't know either. Well, we're in Asia, right? Here you just have to go around trying things. This here is delicious. These little breads in China are really good. I'm definitely going to grab some. It's a delight to eat this for breakfast. Soy milk, things for cereal. Here there are fresh juices made on the spot, probably all freshly squeezed, really nice. You choose the juice you want. On this side we have bakery items. So we have little cakes here, look. Sweet strawberry and toasted walnut. That chocolate croissant looks good. This one here, mini waffles, pancakes. Baked cheese tart. Little cheese tart, croissant. Almond croissant. I don't know what this is. And the chef is working back there. Bread. Here you can toast your bread, right? And here there's ice cream. Wow, ice cream. Wow, there's ice cream, man. On this side here, fruits. Pre-cut fruits, just grab them and enjoy. I think this fruit here doesn't exist in Brazil, right? This one. It doesn't have much flavor, really. It's a kind of neutral fruit, but it's nice to eat. Fresh green salad, salad, and more salad. Over here are the cold cuts, where you can slice your own Italian salami right there. And right here, there is also some chilled fresh fish. Cheese. Wow, there's a lot of stuff, huh? Dessert section. Yogurt. And over here, I guess it's the egg station. Yeah, here are the fried items. You choose what kind of egg you want. If you want an omelette, fried egg, poached egg, boiled egg, or scrambled egg, what toppings are available? And here are the fried toppings for you to put on top. So, hash browns, bacon, shimeji mushrooms, tomato, sausage, quail eggs, and a few more types of eggs. A super complete breakfast. This here, even though it looks ugly, see this egg all broken and black? Even though it's ugly, it's actually really tasty, okay? I'm going to serve myself. Look how cool this is. This honey thing, I hadn't seen it before. Look, it's honey. The honey drips down from there, you just go scrape it off and eat it. This is delicious. I'm starving, I'm going to have a big breakfast, then I'll hit a workout. I'll leave the camera over there in the corner and serve myself because this breakfast looks amazing. The problem with places like this is that you end up eating too much. Like you eat way more than usual, right? You keep eating, then you grab a little something again to eat some more. There you go, my coffee just arrived. The cappuccino is already on the table. I left my phone here on the table. No one is going to take it, no one is going to steal it, no one is going to do anything. It's all good. And let's get the day started. I've already had a big plate of fruit and cheese. Now, a big plate of Asian food. I like Asian food. I think it's tasty. There are people who don't like it, right? Like, it's kind of weird to eat fried foods in the morning and all that. But it's good. This here is really good. I'm going back to Bali in 2 days. There's a lot to do there, and in about a month, I'll be in Brazil. I'm going for family commitments. A cousin of mine is getting married, and also to try to close a deal that if it works out, it's going to be the biggest deal of my life. Really huge. But Wonderful. And if it works out, it will work out. I need to change the way I say this. If it works out, it will work out. It already has worked out. When it does work out, I'll share the whole process, because this process I can make public. I just don't want to release the information beforehand because there are more people involved and there are some big players involved. So it's better not to expose people or any kind of business, only when the deal is actually happening. This trip I took to China was also because of a business deal, but that's a personal deal I'm doing on my own. This other project that I want to close in Brazil, as I just mentioned, has other people involved. It's a much bigger project. We're talking about something like 40 million reais. But this business that I came to do in China is smaller. I'm doing it alone, and it involves an e-commerce. And I basically came here to visit suppliers, discuss contracts, visit factories, close deals with the Chinese, really so I can run my e-commerce remotely. And so with the e-commerce, my e-commerce is already set up, my visual identity is all done, my website is completely ready. All that was left was to close this deal with the manufacturer, with the manufacturers, and begin their operations. It has been roughly 7 months now that I have been working diligently on this specific project here in China. And at this point, it is really starting to take a solid shape and gain some serious momentum, wouldn't you agree? This is the final stretch. It's already been 7 months of work, and it's something I want to manage remotely. I don't need to be in China, but I'll be splitting my time between Bali and China, Bali and China. And when the business works out in Brazil, it's likely that I'll have to give up living full-time in Bali to partially manage this business in Brazil, because it's huge and the scale it has. Cheers. How good it is to eat well. Wow, I ate really well. I need to take a break now and then I'll work out so I don't mess up my day, right? Even when traveling, I try to maintain a certain discipline with training, because otherwise you get too far out of your routine and then you lose all the progress you've made. I'm going back to Bali in 2 days, basically, and then I'll stay in Bali for about 20 days, and then I'm going to Brazil. I'm going to Brazil at the last minute. It wasn't planned. I have a cousin's wedding to attend, and I have some very important meetings about a business deal that I'm going to close. It's not that I'm going to try to close it. I am going to close it. I still can't reveal what it is because there are other people involved, and some of them are basically public figures. So when things are moving forward, I'll share the process, just like I try to share everything on this channel. Whenever I can bring backstage information, how the conversations are going, things happening in real time, I do. If you didn't know the channel, subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. It's a Brazilian who lives abroad, invests abroad, does business abroad, and shares all the backstage aspects of everything that's happening. Every meeting I have in Brazil and everything that's happening, if it can be shared, I'll bring it here to show the business process as it's being created, to show all the stages of major deals being made. If this new business in Brazil works out, it will be the biggest deal of my life. It's a really big fundraising, really big. I'm talking about something like 40 million reais. And I already have meetings scheduled with some huge entrepreneurs in Brazil whom I've already talked to. I've already made some connections, and they're interested in carrying out this mega project in Brazil. The day is still extremely cloudy. It looks like there's a cloud inside the city. I still can't work out because my stomach is full. I'm going to get some rest and I'm going to get some work done. And soon we're going to explore this hotel's gym together. I don't know if they'll let me film, but what can I do? I'm going to take the camera in my pocket without a tripod. I'm going to show the gym from the inside just out of curiosity because the gym is nice. And the pool area is also really nice. Today I'm going to use the sauna and I'm going to swim in the pool. Let's go to the gym to do some cardio, a shoulder workout, and a sauna. I managed to get into the gym with the camera here. I'm going to show you quickly. All the cardio equipment is over there. Here are the weights. Over there are some machines. On the other side, there's the pool. Later, I'll try to take the camera over there too. But it's a fully equipped gym. For a hotel, it's great. You can get a really good workout in here. I'm going to do a little workout, everything. Techno gym. The equipment is from Techno Gym. Over there, there's water, face towels, that kind of thing. And the pool area over there is huge too. This way, there's another area for, I don't know if it's for relaxing or what. but it's really beautiful. This is a good gym for a hotel. Let's go. Workout first, then the pool. Workout completed successfully. I got to the pool area, but there were a bunch of dads swimming with their kids, couples relaxing, and for me, content can't cross the line into being disrespectful. So, out of respect for everyone, I decided not to film. Man, what an incredible experience. Staying in a hotel of this caliber, in a room of this level. To be honest, this isn't normal for me. I stay in hotels like this maybe once every 3 months for specific reasons on specific trips, but I like to put myself in this kind of environment from time to time so I can get used to it, so I can understand that it's possible, so I can work harder. And I really, really, really believe in hard work. I really believe in effort. None of this here beats working your ass off. And I think it's very hard for someone to reach an excellent financial level without grinding a lot. Of course, there are people who do illegal things and do things wrong, but man, I believe in honest work. I won't even mention that stuff. So this isn't some abundance mindset thing, because I'm not conditioning my brain in the mystical sense, but in the objective sense. This here is possible for me to be able to do this always. I need to work more. I need to have a certain amount of money. I need to do more things. I need to accomplish certain tasks, and nothing will ever beat hard work. So for me, it's about working to make things happen, to scale up, to keep working, to open new businesses, to grow the businesses you already have, and nothing beats hard work. With hard work, these things are possible. One way for you to experience a bit of this without actually paying for the hotel is to go into the most expensive hotel you can find on your trip, go to the restaurant, have a coffee, go have a coffee in the lobby, so you can see the hotel, see the people, pay the price for the coffee, which is going to be expensive. But that already puts you with one foot inside that environment, you know? It's important for us to always understand what the next level is and also try to understand which level no longer makes sense for you to reach. For example, maybe it doesn't make sense for you to get there anymore. For example, I love this level right here. This for me is wonderful. But there are levels above this one. There are people who travel in business class and there are people who travel by private jet. The thing is, for you to travel by private jet, your workload, your stress at work, and the number of people you manage and your responsibilities are much greater. I value making a lot of money, but also having a really good and very easygoing life. So it's quite likely that maybe I won't reach the private jet level, but that's okay. I'm aware of that. Because I know that if I want the private jet, I'll have to sacrifice a lot of my good life to move in that direction. And maybe I don't want that, you know? Maybe I want to stay one level below the private jet, but stay at this level here. And at the restaurant, just look at the dishes and not at the price line. Nowadays, I have to look at the price line. For example, one of the restaurants I went to every day here in Shanghai, I'm spending 300 to 400 reais per meal, 250 to 400 reais per meal. If I don't look at the price line, man, the restaurant I went to last night had bottles of wine for 2.5 grand. I can't do that, you know? I'm not in a position to walk into a restaurant, look at the wine and say, I want to drink this 5 grand wine, 3,000, 4,000. I can't. You still have to be cautious. But man, it's nothing. Just wait for the work. With work, we'll get there. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. I'll always bring a bit of this reality and my perspective on the world as well about what it's like to be a Brazilian living in Asia and doing business in Asia. What an awesome city. Seriously, man, Shanghai is really cool. Incredible, incredible, incredible. If you ever get the chance to come to Shanghai, do it because you won't regret it. The only thing is the weather, which is a bit tough, but that's okay. We're not made of sugar. Guys, I'll see you in the next video. Soon there will be content from Bali and also from Brazil. We're in this together. See you next time.